after the Monday Night promo between Gunther, Damien Priest. Damien Priest should, and dare I say, will beat Gunther. Now, we all sort of know that I would like the matchup. And if you would have probably asked somebody, maybe a couple, I was like, when he won the King of the Ring, we'd have said Gunther. Maybe you would have said Money in the Bank. Depending on who was the champion, Priest or Seth, at that time, we would have said Gunther. Now, if it was Drew, that would have been up in the air. But, and even I want to say, even before the promo, I think a lot of people might have said Gunther. Now, after the promo, what I was like, I've been sort of thinking it's going to be in Priest the whole time. But now, after the promo, I'm like, it's going to be Priest. Not only that, I think that he's going to just beat Gunther. I was like, they've been doing this whole thing about him being the paper champ, him not being able to win on his own. That I think for this matchup, they're going to have him win on his own. Liv is going to be hijacked by Rhea, and so is Dom. So then it's like you got to deal with Finn and JD, Carlito. But let's be honest, Carlito not going to do unless some big thing happens where they do the split hella early. I just don't see it. I was like, unless Gunther antagonized one of them, I just don't see it. Now, don't get me wrong. The speculation everybody, the thought that everybody has maybe is that something happened with Finn and Priest but to me, I'm like, maybe he wins despite that. I still think he's beating Gunther. I think they're sort of doing this babyface thing. It's been like a slow burn, but the crowd is starting to get behind Damien Priest more and more and more. And I think this was sort of the promo that really jumped at here. Look, now also, because I was like, Nia also got her match. So are you going to have in your first year two King and Queen of the Ring lose their championship match? I think that will throw things for a little bit of a dilemma. But Priest should win. I was like, because to solidify his run, because while he has had some, I think some really good matches. I think he's done had some really, from Jay and Seth and Drew, that he's had people that he's been feuding with, but they're also good feuds of the time that they're in. The top people, he's beating them. You could say whatever with the interference, and it's like, so what? I was like, all sort of heels do that, and it's been a tug of war. Had it been just straight up interference, it's like, hey, don't interfere. Hey, what are you doing here? You could see that tug or whatever. But people have been sort of going along with him. I think his promos have been getting better, and especially sometimes when you sort of can start poking at him and antagonizing him a little bit. I think he's better on the rebuttal on the other side of that than just starting it off of just talking rise on Monday night. I think that's not his forte right now. But what can stamp it is basically beating one of the people that everybody sees as a dominant player is in Gunther. Now, I was like, I think he also is going to win because I think it just makes sense in the storyline. Rhea coming back, him having a championship. I was like, they're getting along, but he's still sort of running Judgment Day. You still sort of got the prickliness with Finn. Kind of haven't really addressed that, as for this past week, it didn't really get said. So I was like, you still got all this Liv nonsense, but you got him and Dom sort of butting heads right now. I think that still works out all as he stays champ more so than him losing, at least right now. I was like, if he lose, I don't think he's gonna make it out the year type thing. But right now, SummerSlam, and it's also one of the bigger shows that is like, look, Gunther be fine. I was like, he's in that spot of top tier stuff already. But Damien Priest, I think, still needs that one thing that will have people be like, all right, I guess he's the champion. You're going to have people mad regardless. But to me, I was like, I think even if somebody from Judgment Day caused him to have a interfere when he said not to or something like that, I think he'll still come out of it in the same way that he did in the not the Seth match, but the match. I was like, I don't think he no. So I was like, I don't think he's really had any interference for a minute, to be honest. Yeah. So I was like, he's sort of been doing a lot of some of this on his own. Also, I think that Easter egg of Damien and Seth is there for a reason. That basically, hey, you get your title match basically anytime after I'm done with Gunther. I don't think that was just a nothing nugget. I think that might be set up later on to basically give him that clean win, but maybe it's the way that him when he does lose and maybe putting the title not on Seth but somebody else, just because it doesn't hurt Seth if that happens. Just because I'm like, that's very odd for them to say and do, and he just loses to Gunther, because then it was all for naught. And I know Seth is in this program with Drew and CM Punk, kind of in a way that'll give him something to do. But this also was it was a down the road thing anyway. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be Gunther time this time. To be honest, I can see him probably winning. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins the Rumble, something like that, and that's how he does it. Kind of like keep Gunther strong. But yeah, no, I was like he needs to beat Gunther on this. I was like, for the Judgment Day storyline, kind of not over. I mean, don't get me wrong. If he loses, it causes more dysfunction and things like that. But at the same time, I was like, it keep things going because he could be El Capion, telling everybody what to do. And to me, that help put more fuel that's already been on this fire of, yo, I'm tired of you talking to me like my dad, Dom. I'm tired of you acting like you're so much better than us, Finn. Rhea maybe having to defend Priest after that, because I was like, guess what? After he beats Gunther, he gonna have that head. He gonna have phrasing. He gonna have a big head after he does this. He's going to be like, nobody can beat me. Nobody on this roster. I don't need anybody. I got this all by myself. Because at right now, who? And that's probably where you get more like Finn being like, you not the hot stuff you think you are, kind of thing. As far as Gunther, like I said, he's fine. He's Gunther. Now, what he'll be in that time span, that's sort of the difficult part. But like I said, we can put him in a program of anything. He with the street trash thing, he also basically pointed out that he'd been given everything, while Priest had to work for everything. So the whole point is that, and also too, he pointed out that, hey, you lost at WrestleMania because you got just like this, pretty much. So guess what? You have Gunther lose because he was cocky, just how he was with some WrestleMania, and he goes to the bottom of the line. He has to work his way. There you go. He has to work his way back up to getting that top spot. That's his story, and that's why he'll eventually win at Royal Rumble. But I was like, that built to that story with Damien Priest. Also, the way that he sort of talked about Damien Priest, people were saying it's like the Triple H Booker thing. I don't think it's on that level or whatever. Maybe just because of the stuff that you can't say versus now. That's like, it's not really coded. Like, this was not really coded. I was like, you street trash is not really coded. You being homeless is a choice isn't coded. Like, that's thing that people think that's not really the same thing. This is more direct though, that since it is dealing with Damien Priest's real life, I think that's where it sort of shadows it in a bit, where it's like, oh, he needs to win this time for the sake of that, it's like, oh, you these things, you're not supposed to be here at the top. Matter of fact, you with that championship ain't nothing but basically them doing you a service. So in that respect, again, Damien Priest will win, and he's going to beat the almighty Gunther. maybe I have more information on this once we see more episodes. We still got 2 episodes of Raw before we get there. But hey, anyway, what do you think? Should he win? Oh, well, like, will he win that whole thing? Blah blah. Let me know. Other than that, peace. I'm out.